we look at this, we ask ourselves, well, how do great organizations, how do they thrive? And now it's all about evidence-based, so I substantiate what I talk about through evidence-based. So here we are. It says that purpose is not just a critical differentiator. It is the strategic structure that pulls companies through the worst of times. It says companies should determine their purpose, a definitive statement about the difference you are trying to make in the world, and then craft their leadership, management, operation, strategy, and tactics to further that purpose. Furthermore, a purpose-based approach simplifies many difficult decisions and makes an uncertain future easier to navigate. So aren't they saying that if we teach kids about purpose and about their future and what they can become, that even though they're going through traumatic experiences, is that can sustain them and give them resiliency? Absolutely, because the purpose is always greater than the problem. And then it goes on to say that when the ashes clear from this economic Armageddon, the only organizations left standing will be the ones that actually stand for something. Without a purpose that improves people's lives and contributes to a greater good, organizations will struggle. Wall Street Journal bestselling author Roy M. Spence, in his book, It's Not What You Sell, It's What You Stand For. Kids don't care what you sell. They don't care about your money. They don't care about your clothes, about your car. They care about what you stand for. And if you stand for them and you believe in them during their greatest and worst times, they can be successful. Lydia, I don't know how you're still standing, sweetie, because you shouldn't be here. But you're here and you're breathing because somebody did your hair. Somebody gave you a car. It was always the small stuff. Now, the car was pretty significant. You know what I mean? But it's all about the whole perception of things. And remember, we've talked about the whole focus piece. So when we look at purpose versus process, so you know what? Highly successful organizations pride themselves on a what? Focused vision. Give us a clear vision of who that we may know where we stand and what we stand for. Peter Marshall, okay? And then the thing about it is, in life, there's two things I've realized. The only two things will change in life is either something new comes into your life or something new comes out of you. So in order for us to be able to help children, we can't wait for society to change us. We must change ourselves. 1986, I'm standing in my room, depressed. My mother has passed away when I was 14. The year before, I got a girl pregnant. We had a baby. 6 weeks after the baby is born, the baby dies. Trauma, 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 trauma. I've already did 2 tours in jail. I'm 18 years old, and I'm standing there with a 9mm gun in my hand, and I said, it's over. I got to get out of here. And I'm standing here with this gun. And I've got this gun in my head, and I'm trying to pull the trigger, but every time I pull the trigger, I remember the voice of a 3rd-grade teacher in 1977 telling me that I am significant. Telling me that one day it's possible that I can do anything that I want. Telling me that I was part of a kingdom. And I'm fighting for a half an hour with this gun, trying to blow my brains out, but I can't because somebody told me that it was possible that I could live. And I remember I took my last deep breath. I'm putting the gun to my head, and I said, Miss Ritchie, I'm sorry. And I started to pull the trigger, then my telephone rings. And it keeps on ringing and ringing and ringing. It gets louder and louder. And I pick it up, and it's my good friend named Reggie Hines. And Reggie and I, we had grown up together on the streets, inner city Dayton, and we had horrific backgrounds. We were molested. We were both raped at 11. Well, I'm sorry. No, that's another friend. He wasn't raped at 11. I was raped at 11. But he had been through just a lot of negative things with his father and his mother, single mother. But somehow Reggie turns his life around. And I said, Reggie, dude, you're going off to the military. I got nothing. He says, dude, Garrett, what are you talking about? I said, man, I got this gun, and I'm going to end it. It's over. He says, what are you talking about? I said, it's over. He says, Mark, don't do anything. I'm coming over. So about 5 minutes later, Reggie pulls up to my house. He walks up my steps, and he did something that totally changed my whole life. Now, I'm thinking that my best friend is coming to save me. He's going to be like, Mark, put the gun down. Please, put it down. No, he didn't do that. You know what he did? My friend comes in. He looks around the room. Sees the bag of weed, the 40-ounce, the cigarettes, the pills, the Jack Daniels, and me with a 9mm gun in my hand, and I'm sweating and crying profusely. My friend looks at me, and he says, you are a punk. You are a coward. Everybody who's tried to come against you, you got to this point, and this is the way you want to check out after everything that we've been through? He says, you know what, Mark, if this is what you want to do, so be it. He said, but remember this. In a week, they won't even remember your name, man. And in a year, it will be like you were never even born. And everything that you've been through, all the people who try to hurt you, who told you you'll never be anything, they win and you lose. I'm going to walk down these steps, and I'll probably hear a gunshot before I get down because you are running from your problems. But after they bury you, you will never be remembered again. It will be like you were never even born.